But to preface the conversation and to kind of zoom out a little bit, I'd love for you to give a quick one-on-one on plastic and why exactly it is even a problem.
Okay, so why is plastic a problem? It is ubiquitous. Over time, humans have produced more than 8.5 billion metric tons of plastic, which it's not even a comprehensible number. That's how large it is. And we're pumping out plastics right now at a rate of 400 million metric tons a year. So the important part of that, know that it's an astronomically large amount of plastic, and barely any of it is actually recycled. And most of it is actually just pushed further away from wherever it was disposed. So, say you put your plastics in your recycling bin, even though you've recycled as an individual, the industry that makes and sells plastic and also deals with plastic at the end of its life cycle and the disposal side of things and says that it's being recycled will ship it overseas to often to countries in the global south, where it causes widespread pollution and injustice. Excuse me, Sabi, I'm talking about something very serious. um, it's a dire issue in nations in the global south where, especially the US, we produce the most amount of plastic and other waste in the world. We're the biggest wasters, and so much of our garbage is sent to other countries, and that's just
Yeah.
completely unfair, first of all. And then second of all, plastic is producing pollution up and down the pipeline, so we don't even have to think about um, we have to think about the far-reaching consequences, and we don't often do that. So, shipping waste is one aspect of this. So it's, again, plastic is not going away; it's going on the shoulders of someone else, somewhere else,
Yeah.
and often that is to communities of color, rural and low-income people, and those groups that are most underserved in our society today in other ways. So it's really exacerbating a lot of systemic issues like racism and classism, especially in the U.S., but also all around the world. And so that is a big aspect of it. And then there's the toxicity portion. So plastics are manufactured with tens of thousands of proprietary chemicals, and so many of these are extremely toxic. And it's almost every day that a new study is coming out and shedding light on just the range of consequences. So everything from reproductive harm and harming our growth to causing cancer and causing immune problems. I mean, the disgusting toll of plastics is like completely endless, and we're even seeing patterns of, like, high asthma rates, and plastic particles now are all around us. And you start thinking, okay, there's a study that came out that said plastic is in our lungs, it's in our bloodstream, it is inside our bodies. And these particles, actually, Tom, I'll show you since we're on video, so just hold on a second. But it's nice to show people what this is. So think of like any plastic item, and this is what it will eventually break up into. Plastic never breaks down, it just breaks up into smaller and smaller pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And these you can still see, but the particles that enter our bloodstreams, we call these micro and nanoplastics. Okay, so they contain those toxins that we just discussed, which, just to name a few of them: BPA, phthalates, PFAS, which are these forever chemicals that are found in nonstick cookware and also in like
Mm-hmm.
rain gear, clothing. And as someone who, goes outside a lot and has, like, waterproof jackets, that's like very scary to think that I've been like coating my body in toxic chemicals all these years. But anyway, these particles, when they are ingested or inhaled, or even, maybe absorbed into our bodies, we don't know exactly what harm it's causing to humans right now, but we can correlate these toxins with these different health conditions that they're known to cause.
Mm-hmm.
But we also do know that wildlife are like so badly affected by microplastics and also by plastic items. So that is the rundown. Plastic affects everything. It really does, and it also touches all of us, as I said. So
Yeah, there's so many different ways
there's
I can take
so
this. I plan to take him to potentially all of them.